I discovered that there was this thing called manifesting. I discovered that I could get whatever I wanted out of life. And obviously, that sounds very exciting and it sounds very easy. And of course, it can be very easy, but I feel like there's certain things that maybe people miss out, maybe people don't really even know themselves that can get in the way of this process.
Question, tell me what you think about me. I got my own diamonds and I buy my
Hi
own
guys,
money.
and welcome back to my channel. I'm so good that you are all here. Welcome to a new video, and one that I am so excited to finally be bringing you guys. Today we are exploring what they don't tell you about a manifestation. My intention for this video is I hope you can kind of overcome any blocks that you may have been experiencing on your own manifestation journey, and when it comes to getting what it is you desire out of life and bringing into your reality, because I know that a lot of the things I'm discussing today are things that I didn't necessarily find the answers through videos of how to manifest your dream reality, and different tips and techniques of going about manifesting. And I feel like despite trying those things, there were certain blocks that I didn't really even know were blocks to getting what it is I wanted out of life. I discovered that there was this thing called manifesting. I discovered that I could get whatever I wanted out of life. And obviously, that sounds very exciting and it sounds very easy. And of course, it can be very easy, but I feel like there's certain things that maybe people miss out, maybe people don't really even know themselves that can get in the way of this process. So hopefully I can highlight some of these key areas that may sometimes get hidden away under all these rules. Let's strip it back, let's simplify everything and see how we can naturally start bringing in our desires. I feel like one of the places you just need to start when it comes to bringing your goals into your life very seamlessly is knowing what manifesting style works specifically for you and your energy. How are you energetically designed to work with the universe to bring about what it is you desire? So we're going to be looking at human design and astrology. I do have a Astrology 101 guide. This is basically like a very beginner's guide into astrology, so I will put that up here as a little pop-out thing. And if you guys are like complete newbies to astrology, maybe head there after this video just to kind of help you know where to look in your chart and stuff like that, because I literally explain everything in that video. Astrology and human design can show you how to use your energy in the right way and bring forward what it is that truly aligns with you. And as you guys know, if you kind of watch my channel, one thing I love to do is show you guys how to personalize things for yourself. Of course, I can be here and say this is what worked for me, this is what I do, but ultimately I want you guys to know how to do these things for yourself and how to find things that align with you personally. And that's why I love techniques like astrology and human design, because they can show us how to achieve this. However, I will say that you will need your birth time details, your accurate birth time data, in order to do these two techniques. So if you do not have your birth time data, you might want to move on to another part of this video, but there'll be timestamps down below for everything. But do keep watching if you want more valuable information that can help you along your manifestation journey. So first of all, let's start off with human design. And human design is something that I've just been getting into. You know when I'm getting into something because I talk about it all the blimmin' time. But I promise human design is not as intimidating as it looks, especially when using it in the way that I'm about to explain to you. So just stick with me on this. Don't worry about it. Take a breath. We're going to get through this together. So whilst a lot of rhetoric on manifesting talks about, being super specific and particular about what you want, human design actually shows us that this technique isn't necessarily for everyone. And if you have looked at your human design chart, which I will put one on the screen for you guys to see right now, you may have noticed that there's these 4 arrows at the top or around the head of the body graph. All we have to do for this is literally focus on the bottom right arrow in the chart. And this is going to show us how we are designed to see the world, whether our perception is more focused or it's more abstract. So with this arrow, if this arrow is pointing towards the left, I'm going to try not to point because I feel like maybe when I edit this video, it might be the opposite way around for you guys. I don't know. But with the body graph literally facing you, looking at your own body graph, if the arrow on the bottom right is pointing towards your left, then you are what is known as a specific manifester. This means that you should be very detailed and precise about what it is you want. I feel that these are the people in the kind of manifestation space that have testimonies about being really detailed and giving precise scriptings or intention lists and are seeing the results very, very quickly from doing that. We're actually moving away from a left way of thinking. So that may be why in the past maybe there has been so much evidence of manifestation being such a detailed and specific journey. Alternatively, if your bottom right arrow is pointing right, then you are a non-specific manifester. So it's actually not your job to know the specifics of what you want. You have the freedom to kind of be more vague, and it's more about being open to alternatives. So this is more so about believing that what will come will be even better than what you can imagine right now. It's entrusting in the universe to bring you something that you didn't even know you wanted or needed. Finding out that I was a non-specific manifestor really changed the game for me because I was always so confused when I would do like scriptings and I would make them really detailed and I would talk about like the very specific and stuff that I wanted. But that was not the way that I was meant to be approaching my manifestation kind of journey in life. That's not the way I was meant to be interacting with the energy of the universe. And as soon as I allowed myself to be more open and accept that I don't actually always know what I want, I don't know the exact specifics. I might have a rough idea, but there may be something that I haven't even thought of that I like. Things have started to flow towards me so much easier. And you guys might have seen this if you watch my vlogs or you've been watching, I'm sure there was a video where I mentioned this exact thing. Maybe I'll put it up here if I remember what video it was, but I've been really noticing how much quicker and easier these things that I'm desiring are flowing towards me in ways that I didn't even know were that I hadn't even considered or thought about yet. And this kind of way of manifesting, the non-specific way, reminds me of certain celebrities. Like, I remember the story of how Will Smith got his role in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and that kind of blew him up almost. Yes, he did rapping and stuff before that, but I feel like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was what gave him his, like gave him his acting career, really solidified him as a celebrity, and that kind of took him on that trajectory in life. And I had to research this because although I had that kind of memory and I had heard the story a bit, and I remember it being something about a party, but I will tell you the rough story of it anyway, because I feel like it really relates to this idea of being non-specific. I forgot to mention that after doing some research, Will Smith actually has the right-facing arrow, which means that he is a non-specific manifester according to his birth time data online anyways. So I think that's really interesting that that's, the case. He solidified that belief, so love that for him. Love that for me. Apparently, when he first got approached, he actually told the producer that he's not an actor. And he was like, yeah, that's not for me. I'm not an actor. And then he went to a party or something and he met someone from the show again, maybe the same producer, I'm not sure. They met again and he just decided to go for it. I think it's interesting that he was a broke around the time. He was probably looking for new financial opportunity. He set the one intention of, whether he knew it or not, of looking for new financial opportunities. And I think that's even why he ended up doing an interview that led him in the same room as the producer of the show, right? So it's like all these different things are blending into one, the magic of the universe, of the synchronicities that can happen without you doing much, with just you setting this one tiny intention. And by him staying open, being non-specific, being open to something different, and actually stepping outside of his comfort zone, he's now an Oscar winning actor. So look at the magic of what can happen when you are less specific about what you want. I'm gonna leave his story time down below, which actually explains the whole how he became the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did a whole story time on it, and that might have been where I first heard the story. So I will link that down below if you guys want to kind of look at that for yourself. Okay, so let's move on to astrology now. My love, my secret love. It's not that secret, but it's my love. So the 11th house in astrology is the house of your hopes and dreams. It can also show you the best way of going about getting what it is that you want. Here, all you have to do is look at what astrological sign is in your 11th house, as well as the planetary ruler of that sign. If you have planets in your 11th house, again, this is going to influence that energy a little bit differently. So I would more so focus on the planets and that energy. I have created a downloadable sheet linked below if you are interested in getting just kind of like a cheat sheet of if you have Pisces in your 11th house, you look at this planet, and this is kind of the idea of how you go about manifesting. If you want to receive that, then there will be a link down below that you can download that from. So another thing that I think maybe we don't talk about enough when it comes to manifesting your desires is the need to shift your subconscious belief. I feel like we often talk about, you have to think positively, you have to change your vibration to match what it is that you want. You have to believe that you are a millionaire in order to be a millionaire, right? But it can be very difficult and sometimes even unrealistic to expect someone to completely adopt this positive belief system and truly wholeheartedly believe it without acknowledging our subconscious beliefs. Like I said, thinking I'm a millionaire, but you are living paycheck to paycheck, it's very unlikely that you are going to be able to sustain and wholeheartedly believe that statement or belief. It takes rewiring your brain and rewiring all your past experiences, acknowledging those subconscious beliefs that we have, those core beliefs that sometimes we don't really know are there, to really help us to think in a more positive way. I'm in this mode right now, and I have been in this mode for a little while now, so it does take time to do this. And it was a block that I didn't even consider or I was aware of when it was coming to what it is that I wanted from life, what it is I wanted to manifest out of life. And I still have to push myself to think bigger and to believe in bigger and ask for more, which is an indication that subconsciously I maybe don't think I deserve that or that I can't achieve that, right? So, this is where you're really going to think about shadow work, looking at your core beliefs, looking at your subconscious behaviors as well. And I have filmed a couple of like a little mini TikTok series where I'm looking at shifting my subconscious beliefs around finances and stuff like that. So I think I can link that below. I will link the part one of that series below where I talk about which way I'm approaching, how I'm going about doing this. And I think you can apply this to different areas of your life because what I've done, I've just applied how I approached my subconscious beliefs around self-worth and self-love to finances. So that's what I've done. But yeah, I think that I will link that down below for you guys if you want to figure out how you can approach this in the best way for you if you have no idea where to start on this. Another thing that I think isn't stressed enough when we talk about manifestation is the co-creation that happens. This is kind of more so the mode of action. Like I said, when you find out there's this thing that you can do to bring everything that you want towards you very easily, and you're like, wow, I can just sit back and do nothing and the universe will bring it to me. Like this is nice. This is nice. But no, there is action involved here. There has to be some action here because when I'm even talking about human design and using your own energy, you are using your energy in alignment with the universe. How I like to think of it is like you guys are in this kind of partnership together, and before you have chosen to incarnate on this earth, as your soul has kind of discussed with the universe the kind of relationship that you're going to have, the kind of connection that you're going to have. Imagine it the same way that you would a soulmate or a twin flame or something like that. You've discussed the processes that are going to happen here, which role each of you are going to play. So, a part of your role is also about taking action and putting energy into what it is, even if that is just a kind of preparation to receive it. This is about taking on only what you can control in the situation so that you can align with the thing you want to manifest. Like, I often talk about the journey over the destination because the process is the most important part. It's within the process that we become the type of person who has the things we want and functions well within the role. There's no point you being a CEO of a company if you cannot manage finances, if you cannot be a good leader, if you don't know how to execute projects properly. You will not be a successful CEO. So it is within your control to learn the skills. It's within your control to practice, to um put out your ideas and create, right? And spirit, let's say the universe, spirit, whatever you guys believe in personally, and whatever energy you connect to, that is their role then to bring in the right people for you, bring in the right opportunities, and synchronize the right situations so that you can be in the right places to receive what it is that you want. So do your part and trust that your spiritual team, God, the universe is doing theirs. Last but not least, I think maybe even the biggest thing is a divine timing. I truly believe that divine timing plays one of the biggest roles in getting what it is that we want out of life. And this is where the trust comes in. This is where surrendering happens. And this is where you allow what it is that you're asking for to find you, to meet you where you're at. And this can be super difficult as humans because we are so conditioned to view time as linear. We want to have kids by, why am I doing this? We want to have kids by this age. You want to be married by this age. You want to meet our partner by this age. I mean, maybe if you are a specific manifester, then you can say, I want my partner by the age of 26 or whatever age it is. But maybe not all of us can do that. Some of us have to wait and be patient, be allowing of the energy to find us and to flow to us. Co-creation is that masculine energy, and divine timing is sitting within that feminine energy. And again, I feel like that's where I'm at as well right now, is why I feel like it's so important is this is kind of one of the most painful, it can be painful if you resist it anyway, but yeah, one of the the most difficult parts of the manifestation journey is the waiting to receive. It actually reminded me of the concept of habitus, which from my time of studying sociology when I did my sociology degree. So I will explain it a little bit. Hopefully you guys can get what I mean here. So a habitus is basically a field of play. So for example, school or work. It's almost like an institution or an arena where there are structures and rules. And I feel like in the same way, the universe has its own set of rules. It has its own structures. Whilst the universe can seem unstructured and chaotic, there is a lot of structure to it. Even if you look outside to nature, there's the 4 seasons. Everything happens in divine order. Everything happens within a organized chaos, an organized state. And think of it like this: when you first attend school, you didn't necessarily know the rules or how to play the game, so to speak. But with time and experience, you learned the most effective way of being. And the ones that didn't play the game, for example, they spoke up in class without putting their hand up, they were disruptive, they didn't do their homework on time, right? They didn't know the rules, they didn't play the game. Those were the people who got put in a detention. Those were the people who got suspended. So, in a similar way, we have to approach our manifestations as if we are a child and the universe is our guru or teacher. The perfect way of showing this is the 12 universal laws. It really shows how The universe has structure despite its seeming chaos. Coincidentally, I actually started reading or listening actually to the book The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer. And I feel like his journey really sums up the art of surrendering. When we first think of surrendering, we kind of put it in the category of like giving up or losing, of putting no to little effort in. And it's the last thing our minds want to do. Our mind wants to do when we want something so badly. As humans, we're natural fighters. You know, we fight for our survival, anything we can do to survive and get what it is that we want. And for example, if you're looking to manifest a income in our specific environment right now, it can feel like a life or death situation. You know, chasing your dreams or getting paid, having a roof over your head, or trusting in the universe to bring you what it is that you need at the right time. And I'm not saying you have to like be homeless but wait for what it is that I want. I'm also mean that even though you may be struggling, despite that, you do your part as best as you can to your abilities, but you entrust in the universe, God, whoever it is you connect to have the opportunities go towards you that gets your bills paid every single month. The thing is, to actively surrender is to fight every single day. Fight against your conditioned mind and trust in something that you cannot see, something that some of us cannot hear or that we cannot touch. Trust that everything is working out for us in a perfect order of events to bring us what it is that is aligned with us. Why I brought up this book is that the author shows us how through each of his experiences of surrendering, by not giving in to his conditioned mind, his life led into this perfectly ordained order of events that allowed him to experience life at a lot deeper depth than he may have even experienced if he had not surrendered. He actually went from being a kind of living in his van, I think, living in his car. He was very obsessed with being a yogi. He wanted nothing to do with the material world almost. But despite this, by surrendering to the universe, he became a very successful person in the material world. So after everything, you surrender, you trust in divine timing, as you allow the world to catch up with what it is that you are aligning to. For example, you're manifesting a romantic partner or a new friend. So now the universe or God, spirit, whoever, needs to ensure that this person is also aligned to you. You know how energy notices each other? Sometimes we're connected to people without explanation because our energies are just speaking for us. It's like two magnets. Like the magnet doesn't go to the north and south. One side repels and the other side attracts. That's the same way with our energy. Like we're not going to attract something that is isn't energetically aligned for us. You won't notice each other if you're not on the same vibration. So you have to trust that the universe is doing their part, their spirit guides are kind of helping them grow or do whatever it needs to happen to put you in the perfect place to meet this person, to see this person, even to notice them. So, this is kind of like a back and forth step between that co creation and then that surrendering, that divine timing part. So, it's like, whilst you're doing your part, doing what is in your control only, not doing more than that, let the universe do that. I want to mention quickly that I did a Game of Thrones video, which was all about, I think I called it Thinking You Know Your Destiny Will Get You Killed. I feel like this tells us that believing we know how things will go, whether it is supported by logical or theological fatalism, that will hold you back. That believing so hard in an external abstract future is going to sabotage your present. And the idea that we can methodologically plan everything can cause ourselves more pain, or trying to methodologically plan everything, setting out like, if I do this and this, and then I will reach this destiny of mine, I will reach this future. That can cause us more pain in the long run than just kind of taking things as they come. because at the end of the day, we can only control ourselves in the present moment. And whether you have dragons or you have money like like Littlefinger, or you are the queen of the seven kingdoms like Cersei was, you are not automatically deserving of a particular destiny, if that makes sense. Like, you are not automatically going to have this thing or reach this place. And the same for us, like whether we are born into money or whether we are born not into money, whether we have a particular skill or not, it is up to us every day to make those decisions for ourselves that will lead us to our end point, and to live a positive and pleasant life in the meantime. Something like that. And I feel like that is actually was a whole video on the magic of surrendering, or the kind of why we should surrender to the universe. So if you're interested in Game of Thrones, or you would like to see things through a different lens, a lens of TV or a series or something like that, then I would suggest that you go ahead and watch that video, because it is all about the art of surrendering. Thank you guys for watching this video. That is everything that I have for you guys today in this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm also in the process of creating a one-to-one spiritual alignment program, but if you would like guidance from me in the meantime, then I am offering personal tarot readings. If you're interested, that will be the first link in the description. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.